This is fucking Nick Gage, man. I'm the leader of the MDK gang, Eastern Bloc. Shout out to Nate Hatred, RIP, Hate Club. If you ain't listening to Wrestling Cheers, I'm gonna send someone to your fucking house. They're gonna murder your fucking family right in front of you. So I bet you better be listening to Wrestling Cheers. It's the fucking God.
Making your way in the world today takes everything you got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You want to go where you can see that troubles are all the same. You want to go where everybody knows your name. You want to go where you can see that troubles are all the same. You want to go where everybody knows your name.
And welcome back to Wrestling Cheers, where everybody knows your name, especially when you sign to AEW. This is Wrestling Cheers. We like to talk about things going on in the Northeast Ohio independent wrestling scene. We preview shows, we review shows, and sometimes we even have interviews along the way. This is a review episode for a recent AIW show, Bad Boy for Life. I am your host. I am Justin Summers, and Wrestling Cheers is brought to you by the Trending Topics Network, Midwest Territory, and just those two. Wrestling Cheers, please rate, review, and subscribe to us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and as well as wherever you're listening to this fine podcast, whether it be Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or Podbean, WrestlingCheers.podbean.com. And like I said, on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, Facebook.com/WrestlingCheers, Twitter.com/WrestlingCheers, Instagram.com/WrestlingCheers. Email, if you so choose, a desire, WrestlingCheers@gmail.com. And we have the merch store over at whatamaneuver.net. Like I said, this is a review episode for Bad Boy for Life. Also said, I am your host, Justin Summers, and we're joined by, first off, we got Kayden.
I'm on here all the time. You're used to me by now.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of divided up, try to get more people on.
No, I'm here. You're stuck with me.
Actually working on getting some new people on to help cycle in everybody.
I might go away for a little bit then.
Well, you're going to go away for at least the next 2 weeks. Guaranteed.
Hey, you guys get a break from me for a little bit then. We're good.
So you were at Bad Boy for Life, just like me, live at the Winchester.
Finally got my mystery show.
And a man who was not there, but he watched it on Fight TV, we have Charlie Butters.
Hey, what's going on, man?
So how was the Fight TV stream?
It was interesting. Hearing Thorne on commentary, and like he was real. I could barely hear him at first, but it was interesting. It was a good time. I still enjoyed it.
Was it some of the same audio issues we had for Slumber Party Massacre?
It just it sounded like one of the mics was real light, like it wasn't close to their mouth. So I don't know. That's all it was. Like I could hear them just fine, but it was like they just were kind of in the background. It was weird.
That makes
I don't remember there being an issue for Slumber Party. So
I remember hearing people talk about, and I want to say it was Rick saying that like Wadsworth might have been hard to hear at some points.
It's possible.
So Kayden, you finally got your mystery show.
I've been asking for this for a very long time.
I mean, I've always talked about how much I love just the mystery aspects of like certain like matchups. Like, we're going to have a pick your poison match, or, we're going to have, some mystery partners and stuff, or mystery opponents. So those moments are so fun for speculation. So then we get this card and
an entire show of things like that.
And I'm tasked to do a preview with only knowing one match. I was happy to say that we pulled out an slightly over an hour episode over one match, but there was a lot of speculation, a lot of conversation, and this is something I wouldn't mind seeing. Like I said, I believe last week on the show or 2 weeks ago on the show that as a fan, I love these things, these kind of mystery shows, but as like someone who produces content that talks about these shows, it made it harder and I don't like it. But the fan side of me is going to win a little bit because, it's still fun to talk about and I can translate into conversation. So, Kayden, you got any other comments about finally getting this mystery show?
It was exactly what I hoped for. Let's put it that way. I don't want to go too far into it just yet, but it's a very, very good show if you have not checked it out.
So, we started off with 2 matches that Charlie has no idea what the matches were like, because it seems like what they're doing, which is cool, is they're giving some pre-show matches to the crowd. Are they these blockbuster matches? No, but it gives us something extra.
They're fun.
Yeah. So
They're not going to be 5-star matches.
And they're not going to contain, like, main eventers. But
they're a good way to get everyone ready for the show.
Yeah. Help get the crowd hyped. And we started
Get some of the trainees experience.
Speaking of which, we started off with TKD versus the returning Ryder Reed. I was really happy to see Ryder Reed finally come back. The dude has gone through a bumpy road just like over the last year with injuries and such. So him making his return official, even with a new theme, was kind of really cool to see.
Bit of a new look, too.
Yeah, bit of a new look. Definitely some new tights, kind of going more with the skater image. And what? Oh God! Now I'm looking at it. You know who it kind of looks like? Just his tights, pants, whatever you want to call it. Fucking Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
But I will say I didn't notice that in the moment, but I felt like it actually complemented the gimmick.
It works very well for what he's going for.
So this is where we started things off, and we kind of saw a different side of TKD. He was more talking shit to the crowd.
Yeah, he's angry.
Yeah. Which, I mean, rightfully so. Here's a dude who, I mean, everybody else who was in his class has, or at least that match, like, has gone on to, like, a lot bigger things. Fucking Zach Thomas has been on a tear, as some would say. You have Wes Barkley, who's become a huge name. And who else was in that class? Why am I blanking on the 4th name? Oh, Ryder Reed. So, okay, we got both of these dudes in this match from that class.
Trying to, I guess, prove themselves in a way.
Yeah. I mean...
That might not be the best way of putting it, but...
I think TKD was more trying to prove something. Ryder Reed has a little bit of an excuse of a lot of the injuries and everything. Like, there was another wrestler that was at the show, and I kind of thought he was going to be coming back too, but he didn't, and that was Chase Oliver. And that's another dude who's been through a lot of injuries and such since he debuted. On a side note, it was great to see Chase Oliver back at AIW, even if
it's been too long since he's been at a show.
Yeah. So it was really, really cool to see him. You know, will he come back in November? Who knows? But I don't know. Just still seeing someone make one step closer to coming back was really cool. And that's kind of where now we are with Ryder Reed. So yeah, TKD is just like taking a complete backseat to everybody. So I figure he is trying to prove himself.
And I think he did pretty good in his match, from my point of view at least.
It was TKD who won via spinning back kick.
And again, I always say this, but if there's a name for it, tell me.
Yes. Then next up for the pre-show, I mean, they gave us a nice break in between the matches.
And they weren't back-to-back. There was, maybe 10 minutes in between?
I don't know. Like, did they open doors early too? Because I got there at a certain time and I thought there was still like X amount of time before doors opened. Like
there was the early admission thing for some people.
Yeah, the early admission and the gold circle or whatever that they were using for front row. Like I know because I got there and I was outside and then I tried making my way through the bar and I was going to be looking for you. And then as that was happening, all of a sudden the line started moving and I went, oh shit. So fuck. Well, what's going on? Like, I don't know. Like, do we have time before doors are supposed to open? But yeah, that I know tripped me up.
And they opened right around when they were supposed to. At least I think so. I don't really pay attention. I just go in when they say go in.
Yeah. Next up, we had Chuck Stone and Arthur MacArthur, even though I tagged the wrong account, versus Eddie Only and Derek Direction. I don't know if this happens to anybody else on Twitter, but besides having like really bad reception at the Winchester, worse than any other venue AIW's been at, ever like type in a Twitter handle and just before you're about to select it, like say you type in a couple letters, bunch of possibilities pop up, you maybe go for the second one, and right before you're about to hit it, it changes. That's what happened to me. And I didn't notice until we were tweeted at, hey, wrong account. And I'm like, what? And I looked, I was like, oh shit. So it fucking happens. My bad. And I did try to blame Kayden at first, but at least I didn't do it publicly. I just did it like when we were talking, and he was like, no, that wasn't me. And then I looked at the tweeting. I'm like, oh no, that was my tweet. Fuck.
Good job.
You rapscallion.
But like I said, MacArthur, and Chuck Stone versus Eddie Only and Derek Direction of the production. This was a fun match. I'm a huge fan of both teams, and obviously because this wasn't on Fight TV, and not if you weren't there, you didn't see it. It wasn't like a good guy, bad guy team. They were both faces. They were both good guys.
Using the technical terms here.
Technical, whatever. There was no reason to boo either team unless you
just
didn't like them.
Who you like.
Yeah. And even at the end of the match, you had the production, hey, give it up for Arthur MacArthur and Chuck Stone. So these 4, 5, if you consider Danhausen, of my favorites right now in AIW.
I'm hoping this ends up being a free match that they put out on YouTube because it's fun. As simple as it was.
Or maybe it's a match we see on a show in a couple months.
Yeah,
one more time.
Rerun it at some point.
Or maybe, could we find a third person for Chuck Stone and Arthur MacArthur?
Yeah, go get trained.
What?
Go get trained. You're the tag partner.
In my head, I was kind of thinking of that, but I'm like, no, I'm not a real option. But I don't know, is there anybody that fits? For some reason, in my head, I'm thinking what's the new name? Because I don't want to get the right. Yes, Boomer Hatfield. I just picture him with those two and fitting in.
Yeah, kind of.
I don't know why, but that's the first name that comes to my head.
That's a weird little crew of people, but that would work.
Or could we get Fontaine? That could be a real fun match. You had in Fontaine with those two against all 3 members of the production. Oh, give me that. Oh, that'd be so great.
Oh, yes.
Any thoughts on this matchup, Kayden?
Again, it was fun. For these being just pre-show matches, they were both surprisingly good. Just, they did the job of getting me excited for the rest of the show, which is exactly what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Surprising the production in one of them, though.
It was the production that won via Alabama Slam into the Buckles.
I'm not sure what else you call that. Derek, you probably call it something. Let me know.
So that does it for the 2 pre-show matches, which were fun. I really enjoyed seeing those, but we got into the official card. And the one thing that I'll throw out that I did love about this card as a whole, there was the one match that we knew, and that was in the first half. So when we went into the second half, it was like we don't know anything. And that was part of the fun. We started things off officially with the card Trey Lamar versus Lee Moriarty.
What a way to start.
Oh, what a way to start indeed. I love Lee Moriarty. Love giving the dude shit. But absolute one of my favorite additions to AIW this year. And then, Trey in this new era for him with 40 acres, I feel like there's a bigger chip on his shoulder than there even was before. And he's been, showing off a little bit.
Yeah, kinda.
What did you think about this match, Kayden?
As it was a very, very good way to start the show. Officially start the show. Lee and Trey have interacted a bit in some scrambles, but this is their first proper one-on-one match here. And it held up very well. It shouldn't be doing dives at this building. I'll just say that much. I'm tired of catching wrestlers.
Good God, there was a couple spots on this whole show. And we started off hot with this one where early in the match when that happened. And I got up and I'm running to my right going, getting the fuck out of the way. And it still wasn't quick enough. I talked to Lee later in the night. He's like, why didn't you catch me? And I'm like, I got the fuck out of the way.
I'm small and I catch all these people. I'm the small, everybody. Fragile one, and I catch people on dives. Come on now. Not how this works.
I'm older. I'm frail too. We'll get to the spot earlier in the night, not earlier, but later in the night, of where, it was like, get the fuck out of the way quick.
We were giving notice of this one.
Are we supposed to talk about that aspect of it? You're given numerous warnings. And, like, it was get the fuck
It's not to the point sometimes we get told so we don't all get killed on dives.
I got a really good video of that one, though. So we'll get to that one later. Yeah, but Trey Lamar versus Lee Moriarty. Great way to start the show. And it was Trey Lamar winning via Snapmare Driver.
Yeah, I thought he showed a lot in this match. Like, I really enjoyed this match because, like, you don't get to see, like, Trey one-on-one a lot with being with 40 Acres now. At least I haven't this year. And I really enjoyed it. He wore his HBK tights, which I really like those. He never wears them when I'm there, but it was a good match. I like that suplex spot that he did. That was really cool.
The roll through.
Yeah, that was sick.
Was very good.
At least Ethan Page wasn't there.
Well, that's how that goes. Like, we got all these little things that, I'm never there for any of them. Like, I was mad I missed Manders this time, but I at least got to see him during J-Lit, so.
For those who don't know, the running thing has kind of been, Charlie has missed how many Ethan Page appearances in AIW?
Well, since I started going all the time, he hasn't been there regularly, and then he was there on a Thursday show that I can't make Thursday shows, so he was at that show. So we ended up catching him that weekend, though. But yeah, like, anytime I'm not there, he's there. Anytime I'm there, he's not there. So
yeah, we were happy he made that Black Label Pro show, because that would have been a really bad part of your streak.
Well, he was in the title match, so he kind of had to be there.
Shit happens. I'm just happy shit didn't happen.
I think it's just his TNA schedule is why he's not
busy boy
at the normal shows. Like, Thursday shows work out for him, so it's whatever. I get to see him here and there sparingly. It makes me appreciate when I do get to see him more. So
next up, we had Zach Thomas, and this is the thing that I like about the mystery shows when you don't know. You hear one theme, and it's like, all right, like, who's next? Who's coming out? So Zach Thomas comes out, and then all of a sudden, KTB's music hit, and it's like, oh, fuck. KTB versus Zach Thomas. This is fucking awesome.
Yes.
Were there woods nearby?
I don't know if they were nearby, but he definitely came from them.
Okay. Hot air balloon.
Might have traveled a little bit.
Might have traveled a lot all weekend.
Yeah, that's this thing.
It's a pretty long weekend, Thursday to Monday.
Oh, wow, yeah, he's probably just now going back to the woods as of this recording.
So, what do you think about this match from Fight TV, Charlie?
This is the first time I could tell that something was wrong with the ring. I don't think it happened during this match though, but I really noticed that the ropes were really loose. So KTB couldn't do some of his normal stuff, but I thought the match was really good. Zach is almost a hoss, so KTB is a hoss, so it was a pretty good battle, man. It was pretty solid.
Zach is like a proto hoss. We'll go with that one.
yeah, there you go.
He just hits people real hard, so he will fit in that category.
This was talked about on Twitter later in the night of the show. When the fuck is the Duke gonna put up that boot?
Nope.
He's
not.
The fucking Haas title, trophy, boot, whatever, is about as defended as much as the light heavyweight title was for an extended period of time. Where it was just once you saw it on TV again, you're like, oh, they're losing the title.
Let me check this. I'll tell you exactly how long it's been since he's defended it. Because now we're talking about it.
I'm trying to he won it at the end of 2017. So we're coming close on 2 years. And I think he's might have had one title defense, one boot defense, if that.
No, none.
None in 2 years.
The Wet Bandits was the last time he properly defended it. He wasn't even a defense. He won it.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That was it. That was the last time the thing was even mentioned.
I mean, it's mentioned. He brings it out.
Yeah, that's it. It hasn't been defended or this was there.
We can have an open-ass Haas division, seeing as how now we don't have a women's division. Well, we don't have a women's champion, and not much of a supporting division. So imagine, we put the boot in its place. I think we could have a lot of fun matches.
Take a Haas division.
There's a lot of people I'd like to see.
We'll make that one work.
I'm down for it. Let's do it.
Dudes just forearming each other in the face for 20 minutes. Let's go. Sounds like my kind of wrestling.
Have a Haas show and a comedy show. That's what I'd love to see. I want to see one of the two. Combine them, that'd be even better, but one of the two.
If we're going to have a Haas show, you got to bring in that human shotgun.
Oh God, there's so many people I'd love to see to be brought in for a show like that, or even for the Haas boot, but that's a discussion for another day.
Yes.
That's a discussion for Twitter.
It was Zach Thomas who won via Soul Bomb, which I figured it would have been KTB that would have won, but it was Zach Thomas got the upset.
KTB on a bit of a losing streak.
At least 3.
Sakamoto, the Absolution.
Okay, 4.
It's 4 matches now.
So does that mean he gets an intense title shot now?
Yes. See you at the Akron show, KTB.
I hope so. There's some woods nearby. I figure it's like...
There definitely is.
It's an easy commute for him, so, I mean, why not?
Just set up the ring outside. He'll definitely show up then.
Next up, we had Dr. Daniel C. Rockingham and professional Parker Pierce versus the Weird World. And this... how do I describe this beginning of the match? Because it wasn't just a straight up match. You had Dr. Dan and Parker Pierce come out, kind of talk some shit. Then you get the Weird World's music hit, and Worldwide talking a lot of shit. And they tried to get Parker Pierce to drink and try to get Dr. Dan
go back to his old ways.
Yeah, try to drink some of the PBR, and it backfired. And that's how we kind of got into the match. Did I get that right? Am I missing anything?
No, that's pretty accurate of how it went. Trying to change it back to Party Parker. He's not about that anymore.
Which the change in Parker Pierce over the past year has been drastic, or even past 6 months has been drastic, and I like it
for the better, honestly.
Yeah. So hopefully he keeps it up, and I don't know if he's more motivated, but. I don't know. It's better now, like I said, than it was like a year ago when he was, be the party guy. And even I remember when he first came out, it was just one of those things this isn't gonna last, and it didn't. But it was a really great transition to what he is now. But they had to find the transition. And
now he's on almost all the shows from not doing much before.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing with a lot of the students. In this match alone, you have the Weird World, and I feel like since they lost the tag titles, they've kind of fell off the face of the earth in AIW.
And they did.
And they were a team that were on every single show for a while, and then winning the inaugural Chandler Biggins Memorial Tag Team Tournament, cashing in, becoming champions, and losing on their first title defense, and then nothing.
They're just around.
Yeah. And I don't like seeing that, though. These are two dudes that, when they won the tournament, I thought they were going to be able to be booked in so many different territories. I mean, they did just do a Jersey show recently, and I wanted to go to that show, but I want to see them more. I'd love to see them down south. I think Worldwide would kill it wherever he goes, but for some reason, he's never going.
He's just kind of hanging around the Cleveland area.
And I really hope that's not his fault. I don't
think we're ever going to find out either.
I would just love. He's just one of the dudes that, and teams, because Weird Body's fun too. Weird Body's a great dude. I love to see them both get more.
Killed Dan in this match with a sunset flip bomb to the floor. He murdered him.
How was this match on Fight TV for you, Charlie?
Well, I had to go to the store while this was on, but I was watching it on my phone. I was watching it on my phone while I went to the store and while I was in the dollar store getting some stuff for work the next day. So I got some looks at the counter when I was watching it while I was paid for my stuff. What I saw of it was really good. I enjoyed it. It's your basic tag team fare.
What do you think of Dan and Parker's new gear?
I just think it's really cool that I never thought I'd see the day that I could watch wrestling on my phone while I was out and about, not having to be tied to a television and all that. I think that still amazes me to this day, especially an AIW show of all things. It's pretty cool.
I mean, I've often said, like, just recently, just how easy you can access so much different wrestling. Not even the fact that you can take it anywhere.
Whatever you want to watch is going to be available somehow.
You know, tape trading isn't as big as it used to be. Probably still exists to some people, but it's rare. And you don't have to, like, dig through YouTube to find stuff. Now there's proper platforms and proper high-definition formats where it's so awesome.
Yeah, I definitely love that AIW does the Fight TV stuff, like, especially for these Thursday shows. Like, I'll never be able to make one. Like, just the way my schedule is, there's never a chance that I'll be able to do one, probably, unless, like, it somehow fell during, like, a holiday weekend or something. But I love that I can just watch it on Fight, and, I mean, the price is reasonable, and I always feel like I get my money's worth out of it, so.
And that's a side note thing, too, when it comes to AIW and Fight TV. They said, I think these past two shows maybe underperformed, or at least this show underperformed. So the November shows, as of right now, will not be offered on Fight TV. So I kind of figured that with Akron, but Hell on Earth is one of the marquee premier shows of AIW. And I feel like we have a lot of them, but Hell on Earth was like my first show, and it's always like a crazy day, crazy show. There's so much crazy shit that's happened. And it would kind of suck if people can't experience that elsewhere, but... One
of the biggest shows of the year.
Yeah. I mean, APSO's obviously the biggest.
That's the WrestleMania show.
I feel like J-Lit and Wrestle Rager are on the second tier. Some people will say Wrestle Rager's right up there with APSO. But you have those top three one way or another. After that, what we would say we have Hell on Earth, Rap Show, and Gauntlet.
Now, the big three would be Gauntlet, ABSO, Hell on Earth. Those are like the big three, because those are the longest running shows.
Yeah. And it helps that Gauntlet is the Royal Rumble, Absolution is the WrestleMania, and Hell on Earth is kind of the Survivor Series.
The Survivor Series, in a way.
But yeah, to me, it's one of the marquee shows of the year. I love Hell on Earth. But I hope that people get a chance to watch it on Fight TV. I hope that gets worked out, but if it doesn't, and the big, huge name that was announced for the show, Kevin Nash, and I believe we talked about that last week. I can't remember, but I know I'm excited for that. So if you're in town or be able to be here on Black Friday, definitely Hell on Earth is a great show, and I even think the Goldsteins will be coming out for that show. Yeah,
I believe they will be.
All right, so. Yes, going back to what Kayden was saying about the new gear, I kind of like it. I am a fan of any team that can have matching gear, and I think that's something that
makes them look like a proper team.
Yes,
that's something that Dan, to his credit, has strived for every single team that he has been in. I know he didn't necessarily
wanted to look like an actual team.
He didn't necessarily get it with Carson as much as he wanted, but he even got it with Page.
Even if it was once.
Still got it, which says a lot. So seeing this new gear I thought was pretty cool, and to me, like, those colors are the Dr. Dan colors.
Yeah, kind of. I get what you mean by that.
And it was Dr. Daniel C. Rockingham and Parker Pierce win via Northern Lariat.
He just clonked him in the back of the head.
Next up, we had Joey Janela versus Alex Shelley. And I will throw this out. It never became an issue during the night, but I was having really bad reception issues, like I kind of mentioned earlier. And I did make the mistake early in the night of trying to do Instagram videos. I decided I'm no longer going to do Instagram story videos. I'm just going to take clips and then eventually throw them together and see what happens. But I think I did throw a lot on the Wrestling Cheers Instagram, instagram.com/Wrestling Cheers. But yeah, that like really bogged down my connection. The reason why I mentioned it was because I tried it for like the match before this, and I kept trying to just tweet out Joey Janela versus Alex Shelley, with obviously their Twitter handles, and my phone was having so many issues. And I realized, it's because it's trying to upload these videos at the same time. So, as of right now, which we haven't really done them much, especially at the Winchester, so I'm definitely saying no more for the time being.
For now.
I mean, I have a feeling there might be some like really good venues where reception's not an issue, but I have minor issues at the Odeon and I have minor issues here. I don't know what it would be like for Hell on Earth, so we'll figure that shit out later. But this is the match, the only match that we knew of, and it was a little bit more down the middle than I was expecting. I'm just not an Alex Shelley fan, and I figured this would be a Joey Janela's night, and no, it was split. How did you guys feel about this match? How was it for you on Fight TV, Charlie?
It was really good. I didn't expect anything less. So I like Alex Shelley. My thing with Joey Janela is by the time I really appreciated him, it was later on. So I did get to see him in AIW I think twice, and I didn't appreciate it at the time. But now looking back, I'm like, man, that was kind of cool. I got to see him back then. Overall, the match was, kind of what I thought it would be, and I was real happy with it. I thought it was a good send-off. How
about you, Kayden?
If the ropes were better.
Okay, you can't use that for every match, because by the time...
I know, I kid.
I say, because by the time
this is the one where people really were like, yeah, these ropes are...
This ring is fucked. Please don't break.
This is the match where it really started to become an issue, but it didn't take anything away from the match.
I even think Alex Shelley commented when he came out to ringside for the match right before Joey Janela came out. He was, oh shit, these are bad.
It took away nothing. The match was perfect. It wasn't this ridiculous death match. It was them doing some cool moves and chain wrestling. It was very, very good. It was a good way to have Janela in AIW one last time before he becomes a big TV star. And it's a good way to start getting Shelley hopefully back as a regular.
What did
because I know he's...
I was going to say, what did you think about Joey Janela's match on AEW last week?
Mm-hmm.
Kayden's not answering because we're recording this before that happens.
Does he have a match announced? I don't think he has a match announced for the show.
I didn't think he did either. I'll be honest, I haven't really paid that much attention, but...
It's a lot of wrestling I watch, all right?
Well, this week of recording, there's a lot of fucking wrestling. And the thing is,
this is the week for wrestling.
Well, because, on the side note, a lot of people have been, talking about that, and I'm like, well, yeah, but this is going to be the format from now on. It's not oh, this is the big week. It's yeah, this is the week that you're going to get it.
Oh, no, this is the week that it starts.
Yeah, this is the week where you get it for the first time, but it's all coming back next week, and the week after that, and the week after that, and the week after that.
I'm cool with it.
Yeah, but I think the reason why I think everybody thinks this week is so important is because this is going to be, do you keep watching everything if it's all good, or do you stop watching certain stuff because it's not quality?
The test run.
So far, Raw was shit, so I don't think I'll be watching it again for a bit. So we'll see what happens. I'm hoping Wednesday night just becomes my destination, and that's what I watch every week, guaranteed. So.
My thing, it doesn't have to deal with any company being good or bad. It's just having time. And I'll be flat out honest. If you're not AIW, I'm probably not keeping up with you. That's just how I've been. I do this show, I do the editing, I do all that kind of shit. And now, because if I just spent all my time devoted to wrestling, whether it be AIW or not, next thing I know, I'm behind on all these different TV shows and everything. And I don't know, the past 5 years, people have been telling me, oh, you should really watch insert show name. And I'm just yeah, I don't have time. And now I'm trying to just take my time outside of wrestling. I still follow along through certain podcasts, but sitting down and watching it, especially right now, there is way, way too fucking much wrestling. And I know that's not a bad thing. But also, if you're not AIW or Southern Underground Pro, I'm really not keeping up with you. But that's just me. I'm keeping it simple for a while. And I kind of like that. And if I can't go to your show. So
you have your two companies you like?
I don't even say just the two companies. I love independent wrestling kind of as a whole. And getting to discover new names. That is the thing that I love. That's what I started to like New Japan for, because it was a bunch of people that I didn't know who they were. And I was falling in love with characters and all this kind of stuff.
Then, nope.
Well, no, then I realized I can do the same thing here. I can follow Southern Underground Pro, and I can watch, like, I'm just throwing out a guy because let's fucking talk about him for a quick second. Marco Stunt. I saw him on Southern Underground Pro. Fell in love with the dude. Then he gets a shot at GCW. Then he gets a shot at All In. Then he gets a shot with now All Elite. So it's like, I got that experience of like following somebody and becoming a huge fan of theirs here. I didn't have to go to Japan. I didn't have to go to England or England. I did it here. And that's one thing that I love. So that's why I try to follow as much like regional stuff. And even if I'm not, all right, this is what happened at Black Label. Let me watch the last St. Louis Anarchy show, all this kind of stuff. It's still like keeping up with names and hoping a lot of them show up here in Cleveland. That's
kind of why I like Beyond show Uncharted Territory, because like
on independentwrestling.tv.
Yeah, get your cheap plug in there.
That's the job.
No, but they bring in a lot of this talent that maybe you haven't heard of, and so you get to see a lot of this. Like certain guys from that we've seen locally have gotten on there and blown up, and like people like we're gonna see like this new season. Like Manders is gonna be on there. Danhausen's gonna be on there. Like guys we know and love.
Josh Bishop.
Shots and Josh Bishop. So these guys are gonna like even get a bigger audience, because I feel like that's a show that you're getting a lot of different talent, and I think a lot of other I think promoters watch it just to see who's out there and like get an idea, because talent. Yes. And it's an easy way to do it. Like watch this weekly show, see who's new, and then start booking from there. I mean, it makes sense.
It's like roughly a 2-hour show every week.
And I really dig it. And I think like you said, like seeing them from the ground up, like, yeah, okay, some of these guys are a little bit more established, but by the point they get to Beyond, but still, I think it's really cool that like, even if you pick somebody up from there, you're going to see, them rise even further. So I think it's really cool.
How the fuck do we get on that tangent? Welcome to Wrestling Cheers, where we like to go on tangents. Fucking Joey
If you've listened to the show, you're used to it.
Joey Janela and Alex Shelley. This is everything.
Check this one out. It was real good.
It was everything we expected with him, except for me. I thought we would get some sort of weird twist. I didn't know exactly what, but I'm like, I don't know. They're only announcing one match. They're not announcing the rest of the card. What makes me think like there isn't something that's going to happen with this match? Turns out
you got murder chops in this match, so we're good.
Justin was just expecting Joey Janela to wrestle every match on the show against everybody, which would have been fucking sweet. I'm not gonna, that'd have been kind of cool.
Gauntlet.
Yeah, that'd have been cool.
Only if
his last show with us. Why not face everybody on the roster?
Only if Superhuman could be there. Fuck this shit. It was Alex Shelley won via Border City Stretch.
He's got a good stunner, I'll give him that.
And then,
no sold.
I was gonna say after the match, the nice little promo that Alex Shelley cut, giving a lot of credit to Joey Janela and the hope that he becomes a millionaire on TV, talking shit about one Enzo, which was great. And that's kind of where we ended with that.
And that's the show. Good night.
I'm surprised Alex Shelley isn't signed with AEW. Like, I feel like that might be coming down the pike. I kind of feel it.
I don't know what his deal is with ROH at the moment. That might be something.
No one knows what the deal with ROH is at the moment.
Hey, sorry. Jeez.
At least they have a decent champ now.
Do they?
Rouge. I like Rouge.
Oh, yeah. He did win the belt.
I was going
to... Yeah, they ain't David anymore.
I was going to more or less say, like, what the fuck's going on in Ring of Honor? Like, as much as a lot of people kind of like...
Angelina Love is the women's champion. The year 2019.
Have Maria and Kelly had their match yet? Because that's what I'm expecting to see. They either need to be a tag team or they need to have a match. Because as soon as they brought Maria Mannequin, I'm like, oh, this is the person you have to combat Kelly Klein.
Not just make them a team, so kill everyone. Shut down the company after that. This is it.
Anyway.
Not ready for prime time wrestling. New episodes every Sunday. Love that podcast house.
Then we got PB Smooth versus Danhausen.
Love that Danhausen.
Paul Tallhead is what we like to call him.
The fact that we got this match twice in a week. It happened earlier at Unsanctioned Pro, and here's the funny thing: right around
Another good company in the Ohio area.
Right around the time of this match, they tweeted out the link, their YouTube link of Danhausen versus PB Smooth in the No Ring, No Rules match. So then, right after that, getting this match, I was like, oh, that's very ironic. Like, I noticed that because I retweeted it, but now we're going to get the match one more time.
At a proper show.
Yes, at a proper show, with the production, with Trey Lamar of 40 Acres, who tried to steal my fucking phone as
It's
he
his
walked
phone
out.
now.
Oh, no, he
It's his.
Do you think Trey got it out of my hands?
No, I watched you go, no, this is mine. You go away.
I'm like, no, you fuck
It's your
off.
own.
Like, I got a pretty good picture of him, like, looking
You
like...
did. I just want to say that.
It was fucking great.
This is a very good picture.
But, this match was so much fun. We got the teeth. We got the tequila. We got an angry PB, and I felt like I captured some really...
He's always angry. That's something.
But his facial expressions, I got a couple really good pictures where he looks pissed in this match. And it's just all in his
Yeah,
eyes.
you're getting called a giant baby. I'd be mad too.
And then, well, he did tell us to suck his dick. How was this match on Fight TV, Charlie? And I know you had to be excited. You didn't run to the store for this match.
Oh no, like I was very excited. As much as I love the tequila spot, instead of yelling tequila, we need to yell Danhausen.
Yes, I thought the same thing. Like, because I know the song and I know that was coming up, and I'm like, do we yell tequila or Danhausen? And everybody went tequila, and I'm like, yeah, we should have went Danhausen.
If it becomes a reoccurring thing, yeah, we're gonna fix that at the next show if it happens again. If there's another that happens again, we will fix it. Overall, I dug the match though. He is, man. I tweeted this out too after. Like the crowd was, I felt like hotter than maybe. Well, there's one or two matches they were still really hot for, but I think this they were really, really into. And that's just a testament to what Danhausen does with everybody. So I think that translates well.
I think that translates well for Danhausen, but at the same time, knowing that this match happened early in the week and knowing some of the things that happened, like that got me excited. It could have been, Danhausen versus Zach Thomas, and it would have been great. But I feel like adding PB because of the match earlier, and you got to think too, PB has a history with the production. He's the only dude who has the history of that length with the production. Mm-hmm. With all 20 members they've ever had. Like, it's all him. So
Colby Red,
who recently jumped back on Instagram.
Oh, he's still alive. Cool.
Yeah. I think he deactivates his accounts from time to time, then pops back up or something, because I recently seen a couple pictures, and I double checked. I'm like, where have you been?
Strange dude.
I was like, where have you been? And like the picture before that was from April. So I was like, all right, you're, I don't know, coming in and out. I don't even know when the last time you wrestled. Like, that Sadie Gang thing, like, I don't know, was big and then just disparate. That's different company, different story. But PB has that history with the production, and that has really played into the feud with 40 Acres versus the production. But having that with Danhausen, just adding all that, just made it this match so much better.
It was a very good way to come out of intermission. Right back into something that I want to say most of the crowd is used to with production versus PB. If you've been following long enough, you're kind of used to seeing him against someone from the production.
Pretty much.
Since, 2017? I think?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
going on?
Since the Chandler Biggins Memorial Or no, Back to the Future Cup.
It's Back to the Future Cup.
The last Back to the Future Cup. So yeah,
it's been going on for over 2 years.
And I think
on and off.
Everybody has had, I think, a one-on-one match with him. Everybody in the production, except for the one person who was there and left.
The one person that just isn't a thing.
Well, I'm talking about Colby Red. I don't think Colby Red had a one-on-one match. Everybody else.
No, everyone else did at some point.
Yeah, and Danhausen has just been on this hot streak. I'm not like just in ring and everything. It's like how much he's caught on. A lot of people are catching on Hausen on how hot Hausen he's gotten. Like when that whole thing started on Twitter, me and my girlfriend were like that whole night we kept talking Hausen. Like I was like, this is just an example because I think it's a word that I've used a lot lately. Don't be a bitch Hausen.
And his video, the son of a bitch Hausen, it was a big hit around my household, and then now everybody's putting the Hausen at the end of their names, and it's like spreading like wildfire on Twitter, so it's fun.
I think my favorite promo from that particular week was the Gangrel promo.
With the Gatorade. In my head canon, it's actually Derek behind the camera when he's talking to the person. It just makes it so much funnier to like visualize it being him. It's so funny.
Like there's the first part of it where he says cut because he forgot sunglasses. Then they come back and he's still not wearing sunglasses. But he goes to take a drink. He's like, "What is this, Gatorade?"
Gatorade.
You have blood.
So I need blood.
You have blood. I have blood. Everybody on the street has blood.
If you're wondering, we really love that Danhausen on this podcast. Love him. You should too.
Yep.
And if you want more, you can go check the interview with said Danhausen of a month or so ago on the podcast. It's great. Love that Danhausen. Huzzah!
Huzzah!
All right. Next up, we had... Oh, I didn't say who won. It was PB Smooth won via full Nelson facebuster, and...
Probably has a name for it. I don't know.
This was one of those moments where, I got really good pics of, like, the pin, and it's just that intensity that PB had, and I'm really looking forward to more 40 Acres versus the production. That
entire stable this year has been... I don't want to say on a roll, but they've been very, very entertaining this year. Since they just kind of popped up.
Oh, God. Even, like, when 40 Acres debuted, like, they put on a statement. And then the next show after that, Guido's Beer Bash, put on another statement. And it's something that I've loved seeing, especially seeing PB get to shine like this after his controversial title run and all that kind of shit, and his one title defense. Like, this is a new side. And I think PB had to go through that shit to get to this shine.
He's showing he's not a joke, if that's a fair thing to say. I feel like people kind of looked at his title and went, you got lucky.
Paul's not a joke. Anyway, moving on to...
They're definitely not.
Moving on to the next match, we have Bitcoin Boys and the Duke versus PM Me and Alley Cat.
PM Meow.
Yeah, we were chanting PM Meow, but a hashtag that was used later was P Meow or PM Ow, however you want to say it, because it's PMEOW. Either way, I feel like you throw Alley Cat with anybody, and it's a tag team that I want to. You throw her with PME, I want to see that team. Throw her and Faye Jackson, I want to see more of that team. Her and Ziggy Haim, Ziggy Haim.
Get it together, jeez.
It's a new name. There's a learning curve period. Calm down.
No.
I still want to see that match, by the way.
It's good. I happened to catch a preview of it. I thought it was really good, and it's just Jinx / Ziggy being her own self that I don't think everybody would be against Alley Cat. But, throw those two in a team together. Throw Alley with a lot of people. I'm like, yes, I want more of this team. Fuck yes, let's do this. But, yeah, PME and Alley Cat versus Bitcoin Boys and the Duke. This was another fun match. Love PME. I love what we've seen of the Bitcoin Boys since this whole thing has started. Duke's a piece of shit, but that kind of adds to the Bitcoin Boys charm. I mean, if you really want to think about it, just Bitcoin Boys versus PME, that's two great young tag teams going up against each other. You add in the Duke, who's a piece of shit, and you add in Alley Cat, who's like the polar opposite. So they even each other out.
Everything's okay.
But this was a pretty fun match. I think Agent Orange was really upset with the Duke on having to interact with another cat. Probably disowned him for a week or something. But how was this match on Fight TV?
One thing I noticed on there that people live might not have got is that PME had whiskers when they came out, which I noticed instantly. I thought that was it was a really fun
Little
touch.
detail.
Yeah, and match was really good. Anytime PME and Alley Cat are on my TV, I'll stay put and watch. I'm really liking the Bitcoin boys too. I see big things for them down the line. I'm really excited for what the future holds with them. So it was good stuff.
Any thoughts on the match, Kayden?
As was already said, Bitcoin Boys have been very good up to this point for the little tag action they've got so far. Getting them in there with the team like PME is only going to get them better. And you got Duke doing stuff. It was just a weird but fun tag match to have on this show. I enjoyed it. I don't know if everyone else thought very highly of it. I liked it a bunch. PME, they're still probably the best tag team in AIW at the moment. We'll see if this changes.
It was PME and Alley Cat win via double Sunset Dreams.
That's the best way to put it.
Meow.
Next up, we had Big Twan Tucker versus Manders. This got a pop out of the crowd. I was really happy to see Manders back. Wasn't expecting it, even though I actually knew he was going to be there because he did kind of announce that at some point that in the month that he was going to be at AIW. But having this match for the third time, people were tweeting on Twitter. Second time, and I'm like, no, third. Just
people haven't seen the UXWA match.
Yeah, not everybody knows about them. So
well, I know.
I can get the mistake.
I can get the mistake, but it's still third.
I don't care if you're making a mistake. You're wrong. You're just wrong. Go watch the other match.
Maybe UXWA will finally put out that match. Actually, if we want to get technical, I'm pretty sure there's some videos and GIFs out there from a particular Twitter account at KVR216.
There might be.
So, did it happen or not?
Of this match.
I think you should go back on your Twitter and dig a couple thousand tweets back and retweet those again. But yeah, fucking Big Twan Tucker, Manders. How did this match feel on Fight TV?
When I saw that it was them two again, I was like, oh man, this is going to be brutal. And it looked brutal on Fight TV. It looked just brutal. That's all I could say with it. It was just brutal.
Yeah, that's very correct. What do you expect from these two besides them to just hit each other as hard as they can?
I mean, the match they had...
It's not a bad thing at all.
No. Like, the match they had at the Chandler Biggins Memorial Show was real good, but it wasn't... I feel like this was like their third time meeting, and they just... They clicked really good this time and just really hit a home run with the match. So.
Watching how different each of the matches has been really fun. Because the first one was a bit slower and like, all right, what can we do? Second one was, all right, we're just going to hit each other, do some big moves. This one was just all of that really combined into one match. And I'm hoping there's still another match or two between these two at some point. Because, oh my God, these matches have been great. More of this.
This was the moment that I started thinking, like, okay, because Manders' second match in AIW, Cleveland would be his third, so there's people who a little bit more familiar with him, and the place went nuts. Twan is over as fuck, so that's when, what if some other bigger men would make their debut in AIW, people that I'm a fan of, such as Brett Eisen and O'Shea Edwards. How would they resonate with AIW fans? I think it would be very similar to, Kayden, tell me if you think this would be right, when Josh Alexander debuted. At first, we didn't know
No one really cared for him.
Nobody cared when he first walked out. But
within 6 months, people loved him.
I felt like it was after that first match. It was first match. First match, I was like, okay, what can you do? And then we seen what he could do, and we went, oh, okay, I like this guy.
I'd have to rewatch that match, but you might be right about that. But I know he was very, very loved within that first little bit of time he was there.
So
it's just, with this crowd, if you make a good impression in your first match, you're good.
Yeah.
You just have to do some cool stuff. You're good.
And they don't even have to be the ultra cool stuff. Look at Manders. Not Manders, Manser. Similar name, but Manser.
I mean, both of them count there.
Like,
it's just do simple stuff that the crowd's gonna like.
Yeah. And it was Manders picking up his first win, well, not only in AIW, but of this feud.
Not his first win in AIW.
He won the scramble at the...
I forgot about the scramble. I was thinking just his match with Twan. First singles win, and definitely first win against Big Twan Tucker. So it's now 2-1 Big Twan. But it was, Manders won via Lariat.
Also, Manders had 4 matches in AIW. Little note there. 2 scrambles, 2 Twan matches.
Day 2 J-Lit?
Yep.
Okay. Same day. I mean, there's so much wrestling that goes on that fucking weekend.
I just have this weird memory of AIW shows. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's not helpful at all unless it's on this. It's literally the only time it's ever going to be useful is when I'm doing the show.
Kayden, that's why you're on this show. You're our little encyclopedia.
It's kind of like on that. It's kind of like that show Chuck, but like he's got the entire like AIW library in his brain instead. He just like flashes on stuff.
From 2012 onwards, I can tell you what happened.
I thought you were going to make a dated reference to a show that I think was on before Kayden was born, called Beat the Geeks, and he would be the AIW geek of like knowing all this crazy information.
Was that on before he was born? I don't think it was that long ago, was it?
Late 90s, early 2000s, so it's with, I mean, that's me trying to remember. It's within that time. Kayden definitely doesn't...
I'm actually only 4. I just look like I'm 20.
Either way, Kayden doesn't remember it.
Yeah, he could be the AIW geek if they were going to do that. Yeah.
Next up, we had Dominic Greeny versus Joshua Bishop, and here is where we kind of had a little bit of a warning. Hey.
We were told, hey, move. We don't want you dying.
Mm-hmm. But I was able to get a really cool video of said dive. So great. So
I got one from the other side, too. I think we got the exact same video.
Was that warning not just when Josh Bishop came out? Like, that's what I instantly know when he's coming out. Just get ready to move.
I mean, that also works.
Yeah, this match is exactly what you could expect between these two. I don't know what else to say.
Picked up on their feud that still isn't over in my mind.
Just another chapter.
Just adding to that book.
We did see Dom pull a couple F5s out onto chairs, one for Bishop and another one for Wes.
Going to my favorite wrestler, Brock Lesnar.
I absolutely love the fact that Wes was still rocking like bandages and stuff. It just reminds me of like
such
old
a
school
little detail about him, but it's great.
Like, it just throws me back to like the old school like wrestling when like they'd be like all bandaged up for weeks after like a really brutal match, and just like you don't see that often anymore. For him to be like all bandaged up like that, like coming out, like, oh, it's so good. Especially like, I know we're not talking about this week, but at the bobblehead show, like when he came out, like I laughed so hard, and it was perfect. It just he gets it. I love it.
He gets a lot of the small things that most people don't.
Yeah,
I had a weird memory of how Wes is kind of a throwback to guys like Owen and Bob Orton, who, like, imagine if we get this for him. Like, he gets a cast and he wears it for like a year.
Oh my god.
Like, come to think about, like, who the fuck does that anymore? Who is the crazy son of a bitch? And I think I've heard like horror stories about when Owen had his cast forever, because like it was a legitimate cast and it stunk, I guess. So that's something that Wes would do. So like we get the neck brace, like he's probably going to be rocking it in November. I don't know. We'll see. But this match, fucking Bishop and Dom, I don't know what else to say about it. This was the match before the main event that went nuts. And
Which is different.
Yeah, and still great. I don't know, is it anything else?
If you've been to these Winchester shows, you know how they go by now.
Yeah.
That the spot onto the chairs back to back was ugh.
There's a lot of just gross chair stuff in this match.
Yeah.
I know I'm a big deathmatch ghoul, but some of this is gross. Specifically the choke slam onto the chairs. And I'm sure plenty of you have seen that GIF or seen the spot.
I mean,
it's gross.
Who brought in the barbed wire folding chair? Who?
They have that saved from another show.
But who brought that in? Kayden? Who brought it in?
I didn't bring that. They saved that.
But
from Absolution.
But you brought it to Absolution, didn't you?
That's my point.
You know what? I cannot take credit for the barbed wire chair at all. This was all my grandpa's idea to make this a couple years ago. The barbed wire thing was always his idea. That's the one weapon I will not take credit for. He thought of this idea and has made all of them.
So what you're saying is that this skill has been passed down from your grandfather to you
No,
to make these.
It helps me with the other stuff. That's just the one thing he does all the time. That's the one weapon he loves having at the shows is the barbed wire chair.
I dig it. I think it's cool.
It works.
The rocking chair will forever be my favorite.
Oh yeah, we did do one of those.
But that was at CZW, right?
What company? We.
That show in New Jersey with them bitches, according to Nick Cage.
Hey, I've never been to a CZW show. You have.
Yeah, it was a deathmatch tournament. One of the 2 good shows they run a year.
Still a CZW show. That's more than I have.
That's back before they went downhill.
I like that Kayden every once in a while I'll throw up like one of their shows from when I actually used to watch monthly and like have to buy
2005.
Yeah, like around that time, 2004, 2005. Like I started watching when Mondo won TOD2, and I watched for like I want to say 2 or 3 years, and then I kind of got out of it. I only was like a lot of it was like just what I could see online, and then like I'd buy like tapes every once in a while from Smart Mark.
It's
and,
a strange time period of shows.
Yeah, it was.
Because there's like one good match on every show, and the rest is very eh.
Yeah, but it was like a lot of it was storyline driven too at that time. Like they had like the high five and like all that kind of stuff. So like, and then like Blackout.
I don't go through and watch all the shows. I just pick and choose what I think looks good. Still fun to watch the stuff though. I'm glad I have easy access to it now.
Yeah, sometimes you'll throw stuff up. I'll be like, oh man, I remember that.
Big fan of that era of indie wrestling.
That's when I first got into it.
That and IWA Mid-South from that time period too.
I think the big thing I remember from that time period was Nate Webb doing his entrance. That's why I'm so happy
Still
every
does
time.
it.
Oh, I know. That's why I'm so happy every time he does it. And I always lose my voice because I'll sing along with the song with him. Like when he comes out, I love it so much. So I'm glad I've gotten to do that twice now.
Only twice.
Anyway, it was Joshua.
Back on the rails.
Joshua Bishop chokeslam Dom into
an inverted chair bridge.
Yes.
That looked like just hell.
For the win.
Realigned his spine.
Usually those chairs kind of move a little bit. He just stuck to the chairs.
Ugh.
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 Ugh. You know it's bad if I go, ugh. There's not a lot that makes me do that. It was gross. Necro Butcher did it. It'll be fine.
At least it wasn't like a cop killer on until the chairs like that.
Oh yeah, no, let's not say that on this, because someone will actually do that.
Oh God.
I'd rather not have anyone do that.
What have I spoken into the world?
I'll let the Justice take it. Give him more ideas. Good job.
He made me get Mancer blood on my clothes.
Souvenir.
Yeah, it's I'm good with that, not getting blood on me. Like getting sprayed with blood was gross. Yes, everybody's pulling for you. You goof, not wanting to go to the hospital with a collapsed lung. You're insane.
I mean, we've known that.
Yeah, I mean he's a Southern psycho, but damn it, that's crazy. So
we need you to be on TV at some point. Need that contract.
Yes, please. And he needs to keep the entrance for TV. Commercial break. He still hasn't come back.
Still going.
Come out yet?
All right. Next.
Okay, back on the rails.
Next up, we had the main event of the evening. This is a really cool thing, too. We talk about how not knowing the card. So it's like, all right, main event time. And it's like, all right, who the fuck's going to be in the main event? Figured, okay, Justice is probably here. Probably going to defend the title. Who's he defending it against? So Matt Justice with Bill Alfonso defending the AIW Intense Championship versus Eric Ryan with Bobby Beverly.
My God.
Oh, this was a fun match. Fucking all the weapons, all the forks, all the doors, all the forked doors, all the tacks.
Don't worry, I didn't actually bring anything for this. I'm done bringing stuff until they actually have a fans bring the weapons match next time. I'm out of ideas. You can't run a death match on every show anymore.
And light tubes.
And spooky powder.
And all the spooky gas.
Fucking towards the end of this match, Eric Ryan pulls out a box of light tubes, pulls one out, looks like he's about to hit Justice with it, hits himself, rubs it on his forehead, then reaches into the box and pulls out the rest of the box, which is all taped together.
29 light tubes taped together.
Holy fuck.
I showed my boss a video of him doing all this. My boss is like a casual wrestling fan, but he's very intrigued by AIW. And I showed him this, and now he's like adamant that he's going to go to a show. I was like, it's not always like this. I'll take you to a show next year when I know it's going to be a little bit like that. So
well, I know there's going to be glass, and someone will bring stuff like that.
So how was this match on Fight TV, Charlie?
Thorne on commentary was fucking hilarious. Because he's like, I said no fucking glass. And like, yeah, they busted out the tubes and everything. And he was just, oh man, he was funny to listen to on commentary. It was good stuff. Everything looked good. Like I don't think there was really too many issues with anything camera wise that I can remember. But yeah, it was good stuff. I was happy that Eric Ryan got a singles match and got to do some deathmatch stuff in AIW because like,
wow, since he's done that.
Yeah, I mean, like he does it everywhere else, and then he's got the tag team with Bobby.
Not a bad thing.
No. With Bobby being hurt, I mean, it's a chance for him to kind of step up and shine doing the deathmatch stuff. So
Bobby likes partying on occasion.
Yeah, he's not afraid of fork doors and that kind of stuff.
When need be. He'll have some fun. It's cool seeing that version of Eric in AIW for the first time in a couple of years. I'm not even going to try to figure out a date. It's just been quite a while.
Yeah.
How much did you love this match, Kayden?
Yes. I was not expecting the light tubes. Say that. Considering how much I get yelled at for wanting glass all the time. Can't lose the building over using it.
So does that mean the Winchester doesn't care? Or?
I don't know.
I think with the amount of money they make, that at least what he kind of like hinted at on I don't know what show it was because I listened to both this week, but he talked about how like they get that building for free because they do so much business for the Winchester. So I'm sure like they don't give a shit. They probably break in the cash.
Do crazy things there. Take advantage of that. We've got fire and we've got glass there this year.
Yeah, if fire didn't get them kicked out, I'm sure glass ain't gonna get them kicked out.
The two things they won't do at any other building, really. And especially in a building that small. And they're doing things like that.
I don't know. Has anybody been to the place where we're going for Hell on Earth?
It's a bigger building from what I know.
Bigger building as in like Ohio Net size?
Not that ridiculous, but yes.
Well, I mean, that was a huge building. There's a lot that we didn't use, but I'm more looking at...
Not that obnoxiously big, but yes.
I'm more looking at the space that AIW occupied outside of the curtain.
That's exactly what I mean. Like, there was, just from the pictures I saw, that place was just ginormous. They didn't need all of that. It's similar to, like, it's a gym, I think.
I mean, so with this match, there was so much shit.
Doors, fork doors, tacks, chairs,
forks, just regular forks.
Just regular forks, too.
So, Yeah.
Party.
The one cool spot that I want to mention, there was a nice little back and forth of, Bobby Beverly pulling out Tom Dunn, and then not that long later, Bill Alfonso pulling out the Tom Dunn. So that's like one thing I like. Like, oh, well, Bobby, you do it. Fucking Bill Alfonso's like, fuck it, I can do it too. But it was Matt Justice retained via MK Ultra through a bundle of the light tubes we just talked about.
Yeah. All the death.
It was some pretty crazy shit.
All the violence. All right, we got the fire and the glass. Now give me my no-rope barbed wire match. Let's go. Last time we had one was 2012. Come on.
Indeed.
Yeah, we got Fonzie there to tape up biceps, and I mean,
yeah, we're good. Come on. Get this going.
They just have to figure out how they would transition that shit. Like, AIW, I will say, for that absolution, it was perfect.
That will probably be one of the best transitions in between matches ever.
It was that barbed wire match, and then right as it's ending 1, 2, 3, maybe a couple seconds of celebration, and then was that the Submission Squad versus Latin Crime Syndicate?
Yep.
They come through the crowd and they start having a match like basically behind the crowd, like everybody's turn, and then by the time their little matchup's over, we turn around, ropes are up, we're ready for regular wrestling matches.
Rest of the show.
Yeah, it was great. Absolutely great. I don't think I'll ever see anybody pull it off. And that was AIW in 2012. Imagine what they can do in 2019, 2020.
When you have all the students to help out. Because that's back when they had a crew of like 5 people.
Yeah. All right. That will wrap up this show. How did you guys feel about Bad Boy for Life? Oh, and actually, I do want to throw out, before we forget, the line for Joey Janela was insane. Like, there was a lot of people there, and I think there was a good amount for him, and just to try to form a line to do a meet and greet with him, they ended up having to cut it off to come back from intermission, and then at the end of the show, it went on for a while too. So I kind of mentioned on the preview, like I really wanted to get my picture with him, get an autograph, and I wanted to grab a shirt from him, but I think the highest he had was 1X. And I was like, nah, I'm good on that. I don't like doing 2Xs, but he thought he had one. I was like, fine, fuck it, give it to me. Turns out, no, he didn't. So I didn't get that, but like wishing the dude, best of luck in AEW. It was cool to get that one final moment. But how was Bad Boy for Life as a whole on Fight TV for you, Charlie?
Worth the $12.99. It always is, though. I mean, AIW, I don't think they've ever under-delivered on a show. Like, I don't understand how they're under buys. I mean, there's so much on the show that now that you know what's on the show, it's absolutely worth checking out for yourself. So if there's anybody on the fence, buy it. It's $12.99. Like, it's not a lot, and you're gonna get a lot of great content out of it. So overall, would buy again. Absolutely sucks that I can't make those shows, but I'm so glad that I get to watch them on TV. So I'd like to keep that going. So please buy the show so I can keep watching it.
How was it for you live, Kayden?
Yeah, it was fantastic. As I said, I wanted a mystery show for quite some time, and the fact that it happened as it's like Janela's final show, just being this big surprise, who is going to be here type deal, was great. I know it wasn't like as a lot of people call it like an A show, but it felt like it in a way. It was a very, very fun night, top to bottom. I'm hoping it becomes a semi-regular thing that they do every year. Well, every year it'd be regular, you know what I mean? It's late in my bed. It was a very enjoyable show, not knowing who was going to show up, what you're going to get, and just how stuff was going to go. It was great. Check it out if you haven't already watched it, or if you did, watch it again. And yeah, good stuff.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I kind of paid for it the next morning when I had to wake up at 6 o'clock, and can't remember where I had to go. Oh, I had to go all the way down to Dayton and come back. So kind of sucked, but I wasn't actually as tired as I thought I would have been. as a whole, like I said, I hope we do these shows again. Maybe announce nobody. Maybe announce people, but no matches.
Announce one big match to sell tickets.
Or yeah, whatever it needs. I kind of wonder if AIW has enough fan base to bring in people without having that kind of name.
It will never be an audience show.
Yeah.
Or a big level show. It will always be a bar show. I'm okay with this.
Like, if Joey Janela wasn't going to be there, I would have bought it on Fight TV. I've said it before. I would have gave away the ticket on this podcast, on the Twitter account, just because, like, fuck it. I can watch from home as soon as it's over, go to my room, go to bed. But instead, Joey Janela's last show, I'm like, I really got to go. I got my, picture with Joey. I got an 8x10 from him.
I do results.
What?
Gotta do the results.
I could do the results on Fight TV. I just can't do the fancy pictures. I'd be like, all right, Kayden, I'll do the pre-match stuff. You still do the post-match stuff, but I ain't going to do any pictures. So there's that. But yeah, I got a couple other 8x10s. So it was, all in all, it was a fun night. And I don't know when I'm going to have to do it again, but yeah, it will be fun. All right, any final thoughts or last-minute plugs? Before we go, start with Kayden.
As I said, it was a fantastic show. And if you want to follow me on any sort of social media, it's at KVR216. I probably post cool GIFs if you're into that. I don't know. That's my whole deal. Yeah, that's about it.
How about you, Charlie Butters?
You can always follow me on Twitter at Charlie_Butters. That's CHARLY_Butters. And I also have a podcast, Not Ready for Primetime Wrestling, and you can follow them on Twitter at NotReady4PTW.
Any fun episodes coming up?
We're going to be reviewing TurboGraps, the afternoon and the midday show, the next 2 weeks. And then we might have some fun surprises coming up leading into our 100th episode at the beginning of November.
So, TurboGraps, you had the first episode came out last week and the other one coming out this next weekend?
Correct.
Because we're...
I see you trying to trip me up. I got it.
No, I'm making sure, because you said the next 2 weeks, but as of...
Oh, yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
you're right,
I'm not trying to trip you up.
So
I'm trying to help you.
The first one's out, yeah.
Yeah. And then maybe the next 2 weeks after that, you'll have a special co-host or something. I don't know.
Yeah, we have that from time to time. It's good stuff.
All right. You can find myself at HeavySet330, much like you can find this show at Wrestling Cheers, Facebook.com/Wrestling Cheers, Twitter.com/Wrestling Cheers, and Instagram.com/Wrestling Cheers. Email, if you so choose to desire, WrestlingCheers@gmail.com. And like I said, we got the merch store over at WaterManeuver.net. Please rate, review, and subscribe. You're ever listening to this fine podcast, whether it be Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or Podbean, WrestlingCheers.podbean.com. Check out our friends on the Trending Topics Network, such as All Beer Inside, Eurovision Showcase, Old School at the Movies, and Wrestling with Altitude. Check out our other podcast friends, such as like The Hate Flow Through You, Pod Van Dam, Super Fantastic Podcast, The Road Home from Wrestling, Haunted Home Video, The IndieCast, Center Stage, Sobros Network, UXWA Today, Big Gold Belt Podcast, The Co-Host Wrestling Show, Spotlight Series, I Got Your 5 Stars, and Not Ready for Primetime Wrestling. Check out our other non-podcast friends such as Thrift Store Jobber, The Savage Stash, PowerSlam.tv. Use Wrestling Cheers, all one word, and get your first month free. Ringside Shots Photography, Sickening Pictures, Good Company, Stay Tough, Smokin' Jay's Barbecue, Wrestle Void, Midwest Territory, Southern Underground Pro, and the official graphic designer of Wrestling Cheers, Moy Boy Designs. That will do it for us here on Wrestling Cheers, where everybody knows your name. Especially when you bring the barbed wire folding chair, even if you brought it months ago. Later.
Making your way in the world today takes everything you got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Would you like to get away? Sometimes you wanna go